Hello everyone and welcome to a new speedrun on Pladitz where I will reach sub 10 minutes. This is BNDR and if you like my content please subscribe to my channel and keep updated when I post something new. Pladitz is a level with a lot of bugs, a lot of abuses. You can use a lot of functions in the game or exploits if you want to. So that I will be doing. First off, we don't want to build anything else than the treasure room before we get our first fly. A lot of runs can die in this level because of the randomness of it. Either you don't get your second fly, which is crucial. If you don't have a second fly, you cannot get destroy walls quickly enough. It's not an option to research for it. So, but as soon as we get the first fly, we chop up so that we can wall clip, and as the fly already has a sufficient velocity to reach the critical speed so that you can wall clip, just slapping him will be enough, and then we go through the wall. We scout to this gold vein here, drop the fly off, and put 4 imps so that they also can chop out these gold seams to the west. I forgot to do the split there with the fly, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much always 52 seconds. Anyway. We get the first warlock. Warlocks research very quickly, which is great, we want that. I build this lair here in a chess pattern so that when I get a new warlock I can put them down on it and they don't need to go across all of the lair to build their own home. But they will just build it instantly and then I can drop them off in the library. And the sport right now is to collect 100,000 gold. Well, it's not really necessary to be exactly 100,000, but we will be using a lot of destroy walls and we want to have at least 20,000 gold for the Lord of the Land, because then we can kill him with a cave. And we want Blue Keeper to die as quickly as possible, so we need to throw as much meat on him as possible. And that's why I open up these walls here, so that all of the small minions will go and basically soak lightning damage from their mistresses, because they have level 10 mistresses which are very strong. I also lock these doors here. I do it in advance because as soon as we take the increased level box, the warlocks will be level 2 and they will start throwing fireballs at what they deem to be lesser beings in the library, creatures without brains, so flies and beetles. And if they kill the fly, the run is pretty much dead. So as soon as we get an increased level box, which I will get when I have 4 warlocks, I will put the flies in my dungeon heart. Also, I immediately activate Must Obey as soon as I get it, because Must Obey is a broken spell. It is one of the best spells in the game. And yeah, it increases the speed of all your units by 25% for basically no gold at all. Also, it locks their happiness, so they won't desert anything. Even if they're angry, they will just keep doing their job. So, great spell. And yeah, so now we are basically fighting the gold, kinda. So we're trying to get all the gold. I'm also opening up here because to get to the increased level special, of course, to increase the level. As when we increase the level of the warlocks, they get better at researching. So that is really good. Also, as you could see, I put guard posts in the border of my dungeon. Anyone who has ever played Ancient Keeper should be very well familiar with the function. Basically, if you put a guard post, or a temple for that matter, on the edge of water or lava, creatures which aren't flying, or even flying creatures, they won't enter the dungeon. Which is really good, because then we can, as soon as we open up the white dungeon to the blue dungeon, they prioritize the red keeper, but as they don't have any other priority, they cannot reach my heart, so then they will go for him and then they will kill him. I almost lost the fly here. I'm so happy that I did not I didn't pay attention to when I got him, and it's very, very good that he's still alive. So this is a very good pace. Yeah, usually destroy walls takes 750,000 research ticks to research, and just for 10 level 5 warlocks it would take 5 minutes for them to research that. So of course we want to use the flies, and then we use the temple to do it with this trick. When you put 2 flies in it, you get the next spell, and the next spell is bam, 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 destroy walls. So now it begins. We want to open up in particular spots so that I will be able to run through with the imp. And this is a really good run. I didn't die on the archer here, that happens sometimes. Sometimes he melees you and yeah. The reason why I open it up this way to blue is, one, it is the closest to his dungeon, but also then, if usually before I used to open up straight through the player good heart. The problem with that was that, of course, everyone passes through the heart, and I cannot engage the white heart immediately then. So, yeah. Here we get the mistress, and we release 3 monks on them. And monks have drain, and drain everything that is ranged. We want to have everything that is ranged from the good, from the player good, like the heroes, because otherwise the mistress might be able to kill off all of their units. Here is a group of skeletons, but we will get them later. There we go. The skeletons will help us finish off the white heart very quickly.
You should build a hatchery to feed your minions.
And we are very good in gold, like the amount of gold I have is very good here. And as you can see, all of the white creatures are moving towards them. And now I can already open up to the heart, because they already got the pathing for the AI to move not through the heart. So then I can set up so that these creatures here, I don't know, like they did this very funny thing, I guess, because I put them on a guard post. They wanted to do the guard post job, maybe because must obey is activated, probably, actually. And they went to the other guard post. Doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the speed of the run, because also that these creatures aren't speeded and that they don't reach the heart this quickly, it doesn't matter also, because the flags to win on this level is to kill the white heart, to kill the blue heart, and to kill the Lord of the Land. So basically the big challenge of the map, or it's a very random map in this sense, because a lot of things can go south. Firstly, the most important thing, of course, the flies. If you don't get the flies, you cannot finish the level. So, yeah. And as you can see, we first cast 1 cave in to see where does the Lord of the Land go. He goes to his point of ridge, which luckily was very close. And then I just spam caving on him until he dies. And then it's basically playing the waiting game. And this is my fastest run that I ever achieved on this level. I'm pretty sure you can get a lot better timings on it. Maybe if you release more samurai, there are more samurai to the left of the heart. But you would have to release them very quickly then. Because samurai, of course, they kill mistresses quite well. And as I had some gold to spare, I could kill off the creatures at the enemy portal, because I've experienced runs where this creature attracts like 20 heroes, and then of course they don't kill the heart as quickly. And now it looks very good. It's just playing the waiting game right now. And I think this run is 3 seconds quicker than my quickest run. So yeah. There we go. Pladitz in under 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed. And if you like my speedrun videos, I would really appreciate if you subscribe or comment. It helps my channel to grow. And join the Keeper Clan Discord. There's a link in the description of the video. If you like Dungeon Keeper, either if you like speedrunning or if you don't like speedrunning and you just want to play Dungeon Keeper, it is an absolutely amazing community. The developers of the Keeper FX patch are working on, are also in the Discord. So for those who doesn't know, Keeper FX is what basically everyone plays. It allows you to play the game now. It fixes a lot of game-breaking bugs, and it's very, very good. And soon there might even be multiplayer for online play, which is huge. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll keep working on this Dixaroc for my next run, and also I accidentally deleted all my files to the tier list, but soon there will be a tier list for all the spells in Dungeon Keeper. Thank you for watching.